Welcome into Browns All Access with Hue Jackson. I am Beau Bishop, along with a man who needs no introduction, yet I'll give him one. Bernie Kosar with us. This was a long time coming, obviously, on Thursday night. The atmosphere, spectacular, you know that. But also, Bernie, one thing I think that's so incredible about you is the pulse you have of the fans, of the people in Northeast Ohio. What have you sensed around with the fans coming off of that big win over the Jets?
Well, I definitely think just because of the Bud Light expenditures that had heightened some of the inebriations of the happiness of the fans afterwards. Even without that promo, the excitement on West 3rd Street, Euclid Avenue, leaving the stadium the other night after really an electric performance, is almost breathtaking to say. And this is coming from a guy who was out there on the field, played games, threw touchdown passes. Very rarely did I get excited. But the adrenaline level, even within me, after seeing the performance the other night, was fun to be a part of.
Obviously, you came into a similar situation like Baker. You knew that he would be great. You saw him in the preseason, but did you think he'd be that great? He just came in and the moment was not too big.
The memories, the reflections, the anticipation of that. Very rarely in life do things lead up and fulfill those type of expectations like we saw Thursday night. I think they not only they meet up to them, I think they exceeded them. Now, that being said, the excitement level, I think you have to temper it with it's a long season and that. But I love how Baker's handled himself and some of the quotes he talks about from Lincoln Riley that some of my coaches, Howard Snellenberger, Don Shula, Marty Schottenheimer used to say to me about you don't want to get too high on great nights, you don't want to get too low on bad moments. We haven't had the bad moments yet, and I like that Baker's handled himself with an air of calmness about him.
Earlier this week, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Hue Jackson for this week's film breakdown presented by Papa John's.
Shotgun snap, Darnold back, looking, sacked all the way back at the 25-yard line. It's Myles Garrett.
Coach, one of the bright spots of this team early on has been the defensive line play, especially, 95 is pretty good. And this is a play in the first quarter, 3rd and 10, where he has his impact felt.
No doubt. I mean, Myles, we've been moving him, from the right side over to the left side, trying to create matchups for him. And I don't think it really matters where we put him. He's been dominant, whether he's been on the right side, left side. But as you can see him here, he's angling down inside. We call that kind of spearing down inside. He works the center who's turning towards him. He throws him by, and he's able to get his shoulder down and get real skinny and get to the quarterback. That is a fantastic sack. That is hard to do in the National Football League, and I say that because he's crossing so many players. Mm-hmm. He's crossing an offensive tackle, an offensive guard, and then the center to make himself skinny to get behind the center and then be able to sack the quarterback. That's just phenomenal.
Coach, how many guys in the league can do this? Like, is this the 1% of 1%?
He's one of them. There is some others. I can't say that there's not.
It's a lot of real estate covered.
Yes, it is.
To get after it. All right, let's go to the fourth quarter. Again, defensive line play a part of this as well. Joe benefits, and we all benefit with the interception, but it kind of starts up front a little bit with the pressure you guys were able to get right up the middle.
Well, you said it. I still think it starts with our defensive line. Larry Ogunjobi here, just the push to keep driving the guy back into the quarterback's lap. You'll see him take the center and continue to push, and it looks like he stopped. Everybody else is kind of stopped here. Miles, they're trying to run him by with 2 people. But the fact that Larry, and we'll see it from the end zone, just keeps pushing, keeps working. He forces the quarterback when he comes back to kind of flinch, and he throws a ball that he really can't see. So now Joe is standing right there to make an unbelievable pick, which helps us secure the game.
That's just the relentless effort that you want, right?
Absolutely.
Just keep going at it right up the middle.
Watch him just keep working. Look at his legs. He just keeps driving. While everybody else is kind of stopped. You can see these 2 guys right here. They're stopped. He's still working. There's 2 guys that are still working, and that's football. That's what it is. And that's a hell of a, oh my gosh, that's a hell of a play.
Bernie, who would have thunk it? If you have a good defensive front and a good defensive back, it turns out your defense is pretty dang good, and we're seeing that with the Browns.
Well, there's no doubt the defense is better than good, almost great, with all the records and stopping of opposing offenses right now. This is music to our ears. Defensive backs don't want to take anything away from them. Ward being a first-round pick like he is, and John Dorsey bringing in veterans and more speed and free agents in there has definitely upgraded the talent level and ability to cover guys. But not to be a broken record, like we've been talking about all season, Myles Garrett, the front four up front, when you're able to get a pass rush with just 4 guys, leaving 7 guys back there to defend, you see how they play hand in hand against each other.
That Myles Garrett kid can play a little bit, can he? Who does he remind you of in terms of guys that you've seen? I mean, it's early, 1 year in, 2 games, a couple of games in here. But I mean, what does he remind you of?
I don't think it's early anymore with Myles Garrett.
Okay.
I mean, and I don't think it's fair to just pigeonhole him with anybody, because he's going to, I think, demand his own personality. But the greatest of the greats are what I think his expectation should be within himself as an individual, because he certainly is dominating the game. And the ultimate respect is what we see in the opposing teams, the amount of people and resources they're throwing at him to try to just slow him down.
He is a man among boys at this point. Still to come on Browns All Access, running back Carlos Hyde was mic'd up for his birthday bash against the New York Jets.
The whole time I was playing, I was just thinking about, when she was going to call, I got to go at any time. So I was like, when I score a touchdown, I'm going to rock the football like it's a baby. It'll be perfect.
And Terrance Money Mitchell sits down with Andrew Gribble and talks his hot start this season.
When I seen it, I just wanted to make the play, try to help the team as much as I can.
Up in the pocket, shooting it long and deep, and it's picked off! They got it! Terrence Mitchell's got it! And it's all over here now! They can't take it away anymore! 11 seconds left to go!
Welcome back to Browns All Access with Hue Jackson, Beau Bishop, Bernie Kosar. We've talked a lot about Baker. Obviously, he was a star. Defense has been great as well. But how about Carlos Hyde? Bernie, what type of confidence does that give an offense when you have a running back who's that relentless, and especially down near the goal line where you just know he's going to get it in if you give him enough opportunities?
You hit it right on the head. It's so impressive to watch him, not only just down by the goal line, but really yards after contact. When the first guy hits him, it's not bringing him down. He's getting those 3 or 4 yards. He's pushing forward and carrying that line of scrimmage, whether it's getting into the end zone, crossing the goal line, or making a play that could end up being 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9, pushing forward, getting those 3 or 4 yards, making it 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. Those are more manageable situations.
And Carlos Hyde had himself a bit of a day last Thursday. You're going to find out more about that in this week's Mic'd Up segment presented by Fifth Third.
So, which is nice though, my girlfriend, she actually went to the hospital, we got set up, and they induced her Wednesday, was actually Thursday, because it was midnight, and we spent the night there, woke up, and pretty much spent the whole Thursday, just sitting there. So time's ticking, it gets to about 4 o'clock. And they like, yeah, she's only at 6 centimeters. She needs to get to 10. And I'm like, they just told me I got to be at the stadium by 6 o'clock. So I'm like, I'm cutting it close. So I called coach and I'm just like, is there any way y'all can kind of help me? Maybe I get a helicopter ride from the airport to the game. All right, they was like, what, we can have, probably have a police escort you to the game. So my girlfriend was like, what, just go to the game. Go play the game. Take your phone with you, put your phone on the sideline or something. If something happens, I'll call your phone. So I'm just like, all right, that sounds good.
Run your ass over everybody tonight and go see that baby.
Yes, sir. Yeah, appreciate you. Huh? Nah, bro, you being stubborn. Had me in the hospital all day, all night. You ain't need to come out, bro. The whole time I was playing, I was just thinking about, when she was going to call, I got to go at any time. So I was like, when I score a touchdown, I'm going to rock the football like it's a baby. It'll be perfect.
Hyde, the running back, 1st and goal, down 8. Mayfield takes the snap, gives, Hyde runs to the right, cut back left, and he's in! Touchdown!
Everybody watched it. All the nurses, the doctor, everybody was watching it. And my girlfriend, she actually was, her mom was telling me yeah, she was screaming while having contractions when you were scoring touchdowns. She's like, yeah, go, and it hurt, but she's like, go, yeah, it's touchdown.
3rd, and they're a yard away. Mayfield takes the snap, gives it, Hyde runs right, he's going in, touchdown!
safe, baby. Thank you, brother.
I got a rush, you know, I want to celebrate with everybody, you know, everybody's like cheering crazy, you know, it's a good time right now. And now I'm like, I gotta get to the hospital, like.
What happened? Yo. She called, but then she's all right. We're gonna hold off. She just said come straight there as soon as you're done. All right. So we gotta escort your
I gotta
cars to
go.
the front. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, after the game, you gotta go. You ain't got time for interview.
Yeah, I gotta go. See, they holding out for me. I gotta go.
A minute 21 left to go. And if the Browns can ride Carlos Hyde a little bit, they can put this one away.
You watch out the baby yet? I gotta go. I gotta go after this.
Let's go get that baby after this.
I know how bad, you know, my teammates and we want to win. So I hope it just shows that to them, like, you know, this game means a lot to me, though. 'Cause I was willing to sacrifice to go play this game with y'all, and, you know, willing to sacrifice missing my son coming out. But everybody was definitely supportive, though.
There, go.
Love you, man.
All right, there you go.
Bring him out, man.
They actually just let me know, like, this is more than just football, you know, this is a brotherhood. Just shows that, you know, all your brothers. Just imagine, you know, you had a kid and, you know, your family found out. Everybody's gonna be like, yay, congratulations, like, we happy for you. That's how it was here, you know? But, you know, it all worked out. So, played the game, and right after the game, got to the hospital, came 2 hours later at 1 in the morning. So, he didn't come on my birthday as I planned, but I forgot about my birthday. My mom, when she had me, she was due October 5th, which is the original due date for my girlfriend was October 5th. And I ended up being born on September 20th. My son was supposed to be born on September 20th. Like, so I'm like, you know, it makes sense to make him a junior, so Carlos Jr.
What's up? I'm Allie Raymond, and this is your Social Minute, where we show you the best of what happened on social media this week. And to kick it off, this superfan had the Baker Special permanently tattooed on his skin to remember the big moment. Mark Gurko tweeted, after 635 days of the win, something amazing happened last night. To capture the magic of a long overdue and much needed win, I did what any rational person would do. Took the day off and got a tattoo. Now that's fan loyalty. Speaking of fan loyalty, Antonio Callaway posted on Instagram this week a shot of him jumping into the dog pound for the first time, and things went pretty well for this particular fan. So much love in the dog pound, but why are you holding me like that? Come on, Antonio, he just wants to show you some love. And speaking of love, we wanted to give some love to our Browns Reddit community, which is always turning out fire content. Like this graphic, which is a play on a childhood nursery rhyme. The butcher, the baker, the turnover maker. We like the sound of that. I'm Allie Raymond, and this has been your Browns Social Minute.
Coming up next, head coach Hue Jackson previews the matchup between the Browns and the Raiders.
I know everybody's saying the Raiders need a win, but the Browns need a win too. We need to start stacking wins, and we need to learn how to go on the road and win.
And Terrance Mitchell talks with Andrew Gribble about his hot start this season.
And it's picked off! They got it! Terrance Mitchell's got it!
You know, it feels good, you know, just to have finally getting that win, like you said. It's a lot of smiling faces, but, you know, a lot of work to be done still.
All right, welcome back into Browns All Access with Hue Jackson, talking a little bit about the cornerbacks. Denzel Ward-Burney, we've talked a lot about, but what have been your impressions of Money Mitchell early on this season?
Self-proclaimed Money Mitchell.
You got to back that up, right?
You got to back that up, and he backed it up in the game, and since we got the W, he can call himself whatever he wants.
He certainly can. Here's more with Money Mitchell with our buddy Andrew Gribble.
I'm Andrew Gribble here with Browns cornerback Terrance Mitchell. And Terrance, what is it like getting back on this practice field, finally getting a win under your guys' belt?
You know, it feels good, you know, just to have finally getting that win, like you said. It's a lot of smiling faces, but, you know, a lot of work to be done still.
What's going through your head on that final play last week? You're defending your receiver. The ball comes your way. What's going through your mind to kind of seal that victory?
Up in the pocket, shooting it long and deep, and it's picked off. They got it. Terrance Mitchell's got it, and it's all over here now. Yep. They can't take it away anymore. 11 seconds left to go.
Just playing the coverage, trying to be aware of the situation in the game, and just trying to see the ball, and just when I seen it, I just wanted to make the play, try to help the team as much as I can.
Now you're a new face on this team, but the first thing you did was take that ball all the way across the field and take it over to the dog pound. What was kind of your thinking behind that, and what did you think of the reaction?
Well, prior to coming here, I had met Hanford Dixon and guys like that. That's where the dog pound started, and I know about some of the tradition and how they used to be down there and how they're hungry for a win too. So I thought that was a cool thing for me to just run down there and show some love.
What do you like the most about Greg Williams' defense when it comes to using cornerbacks?
Oh man, he keeps you in the game. You're always going to be in the game, because sometimes in some systems you can play cornerback and just be out there for a numerous amount of series. But here with Coach G-Dub, if you ain't covering somebody, you're doing something all the time.
Now in the preseason, Dwayne Walker met with us to talk about the secondary as a whole, and the thing he mentioned about you was that he wanted to have not the one play that you give away to their team to go along with the 2 plays you make for the team. How has that kind of affected your psyche on maybe not taking too many risks out there on the field?
Sure. If you're more focused in the game and have a good idea like what's gonna happen, that kind of eliminates some of those bad plays that I made younger in my career. Just the plays that I did make or whatever that I messed up on, they were always things that I could have fixed. So that's why it's so important for me right now to just be focused and just make better decisions.
Well, good luck on Sunday in Oakland, and hoping to see more turnovers coming your way.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, one thing about it, Bernie, this Browns defense in total has been so much better than what it's been. Can you pinpoint a big reason why?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious with the pass rush and how I feel. I've been on my Myles Garrett theme, and I'll stay on that bandwagon. When you're able to rush the quarterback like we are with the 4 guys, 7 in the back end, you see why we're leading the NFL with 11 takeovers right now.
Yeah, talent helps, and there's been a talent infusion over the last couple of years, and it's showing up every single time that the Browns take the field. In 1992, how many touchdowns did Eric Metcalfe have when the Browns traveled to Los Angeles to face the Raiders? Is the answer A1, B2, C3, or D4? Find out the answer when Browns All Access returns. In 1992, how many touchdowns did Eric Metcalfe have when the Browns traveled to Los Angeles to face the Raiders? The answer is D, 4. Metcalfe's first touchdown of the day came on a 4-yard pass from Todd Philcox. He followed that up with a 6-yard rushing touchdown, as well as a 63-yard and 69-yard touchdown receptions, accounting for all of the Browns' touchdowns in a 28-16 win. Welcome back into Browns All Access with Hue Jackson, Beau Bishop, Bernie Kosar. I know you've had a chance to look at the Raiders' defense. What have you seen on film?
Yeah, seeing them on film and then being there down at Miami Stadium last week and watching the Raiders' defense live, really some glaring tendencies. Obviously, a lot's been said about the Khalil Mack trade. The Raiders' defense is tortuously underdeveloped right now, not putting pressure on the quarterbacks. Big advantage for the Browns there. And then the safeties are playing very deep in their 2-deep coverage. Look for balls up the seam. With Baker Mayfield being able to throw the ball so quick on coverage, being able to hit that intermediate throw to Jarvis Landry or David Njoku going up the seams.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And earlier this week, I spoke with the coach about what he expects from his team against the Raiders. Well, Coach, it is a game day, right? It is the Raiders. It is the Black Hole. You're familiar with it, obviously. 2 historic franchises, obviously. It's just cool to see those helmets collide. It's a Raiders team that needs a win. We know what that's like. We got one. How do you make sure the momentum that you guys built and have been building all season, but really built last Thursday, continues on the road against a desperate team?
Well, I think you just said it. I know everybody's saying the Raiders need a win, but the Browns need a win too. We need to start stacking wins, and we need to learn how to go on the road and win. You know, we've been on the road quite a few times within this organization since I've been here. We've played well, we've come close, but we haven't finished it. What we need to do is start fast in all phases of our football team. We need to start fast on offense, defense, and special teams. We need to make sure we cross all the T's and dot all the I's this week.
How do you make sure that happens offensively? Baker getting his first start, obviously. Hostile environment. He's played in a lot of them in college, never quite like this at the pro level. That'll be a jump up in competition. They'll be able to game plan for him. How do you make sure that he's ready to go, full confidence right out of the gates?
Well, I think it's important that the team, I think the team that surrounds Baker, it's really important that we're all ready to play for him, and I think that's where it starts. There's not a player in our locker room that I don't think want to go there and not help Baker be the best version of himself. At the same time, we need to be that on defense. We need to be that on offense and special teams in order to get this done.
Fun chess match with you and John, too. Obviously, a lot of familiarity, and this is you guys go back a long way, obviously. So is that something you look forward to on Sunday?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's you want to compete against the best, and you want to defeat the best. That's truly what this is all about. We've always been competitive with each other. Obviously, he's done some great things in his career. I'm going to chase it, because that's what you want to be. You want to be a Super Bowl winning coach at some time. You want to lead the organization and get them back to where they rightfully belong. So there's things he's done that I definitely want to chase and accomplish.
Bernie, give me a key to victory for the Browns as they try to go to 2 straight wins here on the young season.
Well, with Baker coming in, we all know that people want to say, be patient, be yourself, take your time leading into the game. I think Baker needs to just be himself. You have one chance to make a first impression. Go after it. If he's made his money in life being aggressive, stay aggressive.
I feel like, folks, you can hug him. He is what you think he's going to be. Like, he's a franchise quarterback. He's everything that you've thought that he would be and everything that you would want him to be. For Bernie Kosar, I am merely Beau Bishop. That's Browns All Access with Hue Jackson. We'll see you next week.